Out with the old.
Ray and I decided to rip apart the foot connectors.
Turbo is out.
What is going on, you guys? We are back at it again with yet another banger. So today we are prepping the Z for paint. I'm going to be sanding down the roof, A-pillars, hatch, rear quarters, and the doors, and priming it. I don't know if I'm gonna get to priming today, but it will be in this video. So with that being said, I'm gonna get everything set up and then I will get into it. so far I've got the hatch sanded down, wings sanded down, got the rear bumper and taillights masked off, the rear window masked off to the best of my ability. But yeah, so now that I've got it set up, time to get into it. Alright guys, change of events. We have to get new tires on the 4Runner. The wife had discovered a nail in the rear passenger tire, so we're getting some brand new tires, all for BF Goodrich's at the same place I got my tires for the 326 Powers. They are SD Tire Masters. Go-to place now for tires, anytime. These tires are going to charge me about $5.50 for 4 of them, but still a great price. Out with the old. Alright, so I got the 3 tires that I'm keeping off and standing by to be loaded up in the 4Runner. Right now they are mounting and balancing them. They got the tires on, so I'm just waiting for them to balance them. And then when they're done, these will go in the 4Runner. She'll be on the ground and we'll be good to go. And in with the new. And now I got the old tires loaded up, except for one, the one that had the nails in it. I'm not taking that one. What is going on, you guys? So as you can see, I am in the front driver's side of wheel well of my wife's 350Z. And what we're doing is we're raising her fronts, and she got some new wheels. So we traded the Regas for, I'm not gonna tell y'all yet. You'll see them when I'm done, but yeah. So right now I'm gotta undo this bolt right here with an Allen key, and then I'm gonna raise the coilover up a little bit because she wants me to raise them for her. So let's get to it. What is going on, you guys? So it is a couple days later, and yes, you see my wife's Z in the driveway. The door is open, the dash is apart. You got Trey right here.
Yes, sir.
And we just did the radio in her car. So what this video is going to do is going to tell you what wires to connect, how to connect them, and where to connect them. But with that being said, I'm gonna flip it around, and then me and Trey are going to go over what to expect, how to expect, or what to connect and how to connect, just so if y'all ever decide to change your radio in your Z, you will know exactly what wires to connect where, instead of getting the adapter harness and making a big ass mess like what's in my Z. I have a whole bunch of random wires that are everywhere, but you don't need the fucking adapter harness. Because Trey and I decided to rip apart the fucking connectors and connect them manually, so that's what we're working with. But with that being said, I'm gonna hop off of this, and then when Trey gets back in the car, we're gonna go over what wires go where, how to connect them, where to connect them, so on and so forth. What is going on, you guys? We are back at it again with yet another banger. Actually, no, this is continuing the banger that I'm already creating. Anyways, wife's hood is off, intake's undone, a couple bolts are off the manifold, fixing an evap leak. Let me flip it around, I'll show you what's wrong. All right, so first thing that's wrong is right here, this hose is completely fucking sheared off, so I'm gonna try and cut it and move it closer. And hopefully that fixes the evap leak. And then there's a sensor down over here somewhere, actually, that I need to find. Yeah, I think it's down under here somewhere, down but I'm gonna find that and then fucking check the connection on that, and then we should be good evap wise. All right, now that I got everything buttoned back up, I'll explain what I did and how I did it. So first, I replaced this hose right here, and then I replaced this hose, and then there's another hose that goes from the back of the intake. You can kind of see the end of it right there. I replaced that, and there's this. I had to unscrew this to 12 millimeter, yeah, 12 millimeter, and then just pop this hose off, pop that hose off, and then pop this hose off, pop the new ones back on. But the reason I replaced it is because old hoses all look like this. Completely corroded, destroyed, just horrible. So, like one of them from here that way was completely broken off. So I decided to replace them with the hoses. So hopefully that clears the evap code, and then I just have to worry about two more things. She has a starting issue. We think it's the battery, but we're not 100% sure. So we're gonna switch out the battery, or no, we're gonna take it to AutoZone and then have them test it. And if it reads low, then it's the battery. If it doesn't read low, then it's the starter. So then I gotta jack this bitch up and put a new starter in it. But I'm probably gonna get a refresh starter instead of a brand new starter, because getting a brand new starter is gonna be a lot more expensive than getting a refresh starter. So my first thought on why it wasn't starting right is because these terminals were completely corroded and everything. So we both took the terminal cleaners and cleaned them and cleaned up the connecting points, but that didn't fix it. And then she has a camshaft position sensor code that I gotta fix, and it's two sensors in the back. I don't know what exact one it is, but I think it's both sensors because she has two codes for it. So I need to connect my OBD2 to my phone to get a better reading, so that way I can figure out what sensor it is. And then after I figure that out, it'll just be 2 or 4 10 millimeter bolts, pop them out, pop them back in, plug them back in, boom, good to go. But other than that, that should be it for the night. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the night. So this is gonna stay in this condition right now, no hood, until we figure out the starting issue and the camshaft position sensor issue. But other than that, stay tuned, because I don't know if I'm gonna pick this up or if I'm gonna end it. If I end it, I'll do an outro right after this, but if not, then I will add to it. It's a couple days later from the last clips you just saw, but today we're gonna be working on the BMW. We're gonna be wrapping it and everything. Right now I'm going to my garage to get Trey's sander, some sandpaper, and his extension cord so we can sand some more parts on it, just to make sure the Bondo is good. And then after that, we'll get into wrapping. The sander, extension cord, sanding block, sandpaper. Right now I'm gonna go through, sand this down. That should be good. Let's check this real quick. Do a little bit of sanding on this and that'll be good. And that's good. And, yeah. So everything is good to go. Once I got this sanded, the quarter panel over there sanded, we will start wrapping. right, now that I've got the hatch almost done, I got to do a couple more touches by hand, but I've got the rear quarter done. And then once I get this rear, no, why did I say hatch? It's a damn trunk. I'm dumb. I still got a couple more touches I got to do on the trunk, but I wanted to knock out this real quick before I finish with the trunk. Once I get the trunk done, we are gonna wipe it off and then start wrapping. So wrapping is coming. All right, got the trunk done. If it's not perfect, if I wanted it to be perfect, I'd get more Bondo, but Trey is obviously not concerned about it being perfect. He said it himself, this is just a fuck around and build. So, but the trunk is done Bondo wise. The rear quarter is done Bondo wise. I'm probably gonna touch up those front A-pillars real quick. And then after that, we should start wrapping. So once I get those front pillars done, we will start wrapping.
So, right, this thing isn't going to be perfect. I know that. It's a 4-door, for God's sake. But it's going to be fun. And it's going to turn heads. Man, I just cleared labor.
All right, guys, Trey is going through and drying off the BMW. And I'm gonna start isopropyling the paint, so that way we can get the wrap stick and I'll have a completely clean surface. Alright, stop it. This is why you ISO. So just wiping it off is not going to get your paint clean or make the surface clean for the connection of the wrap. So while we're waiting for the silver Sharpies to get here, we're gonna fuck around with the Miata. All right, now to take off this fucking turbo. Turbo is out. Alright, now explain to them.
Alright, so we got the old war whistle off, which is this one.
just wasn't running right, and that's why my car's been sitting for fucking ages. So, but we snatched all of the components over here. So the mounting for, because the manifold I have is a T3, T4 manifold, and these are GT28 turbos. So it is a conversion for T3, T4 to GT28 if you already bought the T3, T4 manifold. So pretty much all we did was take off the downpipe plate for it, all of the oil lines and water line fittings, and the oil drain fitting. Now I'm going to teach John how to clock a turbo. So you, have your oil running in a straight line. So mounting turbos, your oil feed and your oil drain, you pretty much want to have that top down. It's least resistance, especially for drain. And because this is a water cooled turbo, it'll just make it easier. So it'll pretty much help your turbo last longer by having that clocked properly. And we're going to start sticking it onto the car, trying to figure out which way we want this to start feeding into the intercooler.
Alright, so as of right now, what I've done is I went through and undid all these bolts around here. They are size 13. I took the 2 off for the wastegate, so that way we can move it properly, and then once we get it clocked where we want it, I'll probably have to remove maybe 1 or 2 more bolts to adjust these clamps, and then to remount the wastegate where we want it. So with that being said, let's get the clocking.
Yeah.
guys, after a brief intermission, we are back. We had to go get a new fitting because the fitting he had was loose as fuck. Now, we got a new fitting. So, I'm gonna throw this on and start buttoning everything up and hopefully get this shit running today. And just like that, the fitting is on. We got the downpipe done. Now, time to start routing the intercooler. All right, guys, so we've got the turbo hooked up, all the fucking intercooler stuff hooked up. Everything's hooked up. He's just got to put the new battery in because we had to go get another battery because the old battery was. But once he gets the new battery in, it's gonna be first start of the boosted Miata. I just realized I never gave y'all an update with the wife's car, so we're gonna give you guys an update real quick. So today she picked up the Kinetics manifold engine cover so her engine doesn't look dusty. And then I'm gonna flip you guys around and show you the wheels. So she is now on TE 37s. They're 18 by 10.5 plus 15. We ended up trading the Regas and getting those put on. And then here's a better view of the engine bay. And then also, I got her Apple CarPlay installed and aftermarket radio installed. But right now, we're trying to figure out what her starting issue is. Our next step is gonna be the battery. We're gonna have AutoZone test it to see how charged it is. If it needs charge, we'll charge it up and then hopefully that fixes it. But something's telling me it's the starter. But so far we've replaced one of the camshaft position sensors because she was getting a code for that, but she still has a code, I think. I need to plug the OBD2 reader into her OBD2 port and figure out what code she has now, and then I will connect it to my phone as well to get a better reading. But other than that, that's what's going on with the wife's car. And then you come over to mine. I didn't finish the whole painting video, but I've got it primed pretty much everything except for front bumper, fenders, hood, side skirts, and rear bumper. Everything else is primed white. And then I have also received my Born to Die rear banner and then my Static Club rear banner. Still trying to figure out what I want to put here. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Or if you want me to support your brand, hit me up and I will support your shit. Just send me a sticker. What's going on, you guys? It is a couple of days later from the last clips that you just saw. Trey just got back from going to Lowe's, Home Depot, AutoZone, and all that shit. And he's got some fittings to hopefully stop the oil leak on the Miata. And if that's the case, then this thing's gonna be running right. But with that being said, I'm gonna flip it around and then we will get this shit fixed. Hopefully fixed. And if that's the case, Miata is up. Not yet though. So this is all the fittings he got. This motherfucker went crazy with it. So hopefully we can configure something to fit this oil feed line in and it not leak. So with that being said, let's get to it and I will get back to you when it's done. All right guys, we're back. It's the next day. So all the fittings that he got yesterday, all these was not cutting the job. So he went and Chris fixed it where it doesn't leak. So with this being said, I'm going to get a startup clip and that'll probably end this video. So here we go. All right guys, the moment of the truth. All right, let's just turn it over. And with that being said, we've got the turbo Miata running right.
thanks to Trey's Chris Fix-It fucking hack job of a fucking valve.
It works.
Or wait,
It
what is
works.
that called?
It's a inlet fitting.
Inlet fitting. Hack job of a inlet fitting, but he got it fixed. How are you feeling?
Fucking ecstatic, man. My car's been sitting for about a year and a half, not moving, not starting. We got it started today, so good shit.
All right, so after we installed the camshaft position sensor, we started our car, but still struggled to start a little bit. So we let it run for a couple minutes, shut it off, and then turned it to auxiliary mode. Plugged in my OBD2 reader, and it was popping up a P0335, which is for the crank position sensor. So I just wanted to get a more detailed listing of what was wrong with it, because my OBD2 reader is Bluetooth, so I decided to connect it to my phone and make sure that it was the crankshaft position sensor code that was popping up, and it was. So she went to the AutoZone by the house, picked up the crankshaft position sensor. We haven't installed it yet. We're gonna install it when we get back from Texas, but with that being said, I got a couple more videos that's gonna be popping up, so stay tuned for those. I've got some more content on my car, the wife's car, the Miata build, the BMW build, the 4Runner. I have some videos I'm going to do. I think that the video after this is going to be an install video on my car, because I ordered, actually no, I'm not going to tell y'all what I ordered because more power baby. But anyways, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Stay groovy, guys. Peace.